What is up, everyone? Welcome to the newest gaming YouTube channel on the market today, Schaefer Gaming. I'm your host, Lewis Schaefer. Love playing sports games, 2K, Madden, WWE 2K. Today we're going to play some MLB The Show 20. We're going to start this whole channel off with a rebuild of my team, the New York Mets. So go ahead and give us a subscribe and go ahead and hit that bell. It'll let you know when I post new videos, new content. And let's get into it. I'm excited here. Hats on. Let's go ahead and get the headphones on. And let's get into it. So, obviously with the Mets, pitching at the forefront. You have back-to-back Cy Young Award winner Jacob deGrom. You have Noah Syndergaard, who I'm going to keep healthy for the sake of this rebuild. Marcus Stroman, Steve Matz, Rick Porcello as the fifth. We'll see if he sticks around. I'm going to try to roll with him. But we'll see. We'll give him a shot. Not too much in terms of prospects. I know David Peterson's out there. 24, so a little bit older. Possible fifth starter. Maybe this year. If Porcello falters, we shall see which Porcello we get. But aside from that, not much. Matthew Allen, 18, be potential. So he could be a piece that we build around. But the goal here is to win a championship. Then you got, in the bullpen, we went and got Dylan Betances in the offseason from the Yankees. Seth Lugo obviously comes back. Justin Wilson, Jarius Familia, who, God, we need to get a bounce back out of him to have any success with this because he's our fourth best option. And then Brad Brock and Paul Sewald, Robert Gazelman, Michael Wacha, who was brought in as a fifth starter. I'm actually going to make him a starter to at least contend with Porcello. Maybe be the long man out of the pen. I feel like his stats are going to go up if we put him at the position he's been at in the last 6 years. 6 years, I want to say. Yeah, 6 years with St. Louis. So he goes up to a 72. He'll at least be the long man. I might start him. We shall see. And then obviously Edwin Diaz in the ninth. I don't know if we're going to use him as closer. We'll see. He's got this year and 2 more years of team control on him. I'd love to build him back up and have the closer that the Mets traded away Jared Kelenic for, but we'll see. We'll see if we can get that out of him. And then obviously on offense, this team could score runs, no problem. Wilson Ramos, Pete Alonso, defending Rookie of the Year. I can go on and on about the accolades, but yeah, I mean, Rookie of the Year last year, 53, I believe, home runs. Yes, 53, 120 RBIs. So there's your 4-hitter. There's your stereotypical 4-hitter. Robbie Cano's still there. Jed Lowry's still there. We'll add him to the 40. Mets have a full 40. Okay. We'll make room for Jed Lowry. He'll be a nice bench piece to have. Jeff McNeil, Eduardo Nunez. There's the big prospect for the offense in Brett Beatty. I think ideally, if we don't get offered a better deal, Cano will play out his 2 years left on his deal, 2-3 years, and then we'll call up a 22, 23-year-old Brett Beatty. But we'll see how that all kind of plays out. Med Rosario there, Jimenez, Ronnie Mauricio, who's a bigger prospect than Jimenez at this point. Jimenez is kind of pattered out a bit. Then the outfield 3 big bats, aside from Alonso and McNeil, obviously, but Cespedes coming back, J.D. Davis, Jake Marisnick for defense, Brandon Nimmo as well. I'll probably start Brandon Nimmo because I've seen how he can develop in this game. And then obviously Conforto, who might have one of the sweetest left-handed swings in baseball. Let's go ahead and remove someone. So there's the team. we'll do some fine tuning and get into it. And we'll see you guys at opening day. All right, guys. So we have set up the roster for the 2020 season. Gonna be pretty much the same lineup all the time. Rosario, Nimmo, McNeil, Alonso, Conforto, Cano, Ramos. I was on a DH lineup, which doesn't really apply to the Mets too often. So, a lot of the same cast of characters. Rosario, Nimmo, McNeil, Alonso, Conforto, Cano, Ramos. We're going to go with Cespedes for the year. I'm playing the financials here, to be completely honest. $27.5 million. I'm not putting that on the bench. I'm going to be the Will Ponds for a little bit. And then it's kind of hard to tell. Oh, there it is. So then you got the bench. JD, Tomas Nido, Dom Smith, and then we have Eduardo, Jake Marisnick, and Jed Lowry. And Jake Marisnick actually is going to be in a platoon with Nimmo, just to spell Nimmo against lefties and try to help those stats come up a little bit. And then you got the pitching rotation, obviously, like deGrom, number 1, Syndergaard, Stroman, Matt. We went with Waka. His overall's higher, and then with the morale boost from being a starter, went up to a 75. Porcello's a 71, as is. So we'll go with him. Then obviously Wilson, Familia, Brock, Betances, and Diaz as the setup man. We're going to start Diaz as a setup man and try to rebuild him a little lower pressure situations. And then Lugo, who was the ace up the sleeve for the Mets last year. So let's go ahead and get into the regular season. And I will see you guys when we have some news. So here we are, guys. We're at what is today by the time I'm posting it. The Mets are currently sitting at 23-25. Not the best start. We'll get back into it. We're currently 4.5 games out of the East. Miami is in third. I don't think that's going to sustain, but we shall see. But this is doable. Let's go ahead and jump up a little bit. Okay, guys, so here we are at the All-Star break. We've improved to 52-44, so we're making some progress. We're having a very good July so far, as you can tell. Only the one loss here to the Yankees. We're a game and a half back of Atlanta, so we've made progress. Let's see where we are in the wild card standings. So we're tied with the Reds right now, and the Diamondbacks, all have the same record for 2 spots in the wild card. So we were in a good spot. We're at the All-Star break, so a little bit of rest. What we're going to do now, we're going to jump up to the trade deadline, see if we get any offers that can maybe improve the team, and see what we do from there. All right, so we have a deal. We've struck a deal with the Astros here, as you could see. We're going to go ahead and get Joe Smith to bolster the pen up a little bit, and Michael Brantley, who is on a 1-year deal very similar to Cespedes for less money. And we're going to go ahead and do this deal. So I had a little pause there for a second. We're going to go ahead and do this deal for Cespedes as we shed his contract, Chevian Newton, and Luke Renee. We're going to take this every day of the week. Let's go ahead and take this. Welcome to the team, Michael Brantley. We're going to go ahead and sim up a little bit, and I'll see you guys at the end. Another trade here. We're going to go ahead and see what we can get for Jeurys Familia. Just a big contract. He's falling apart. Let's go ahead and see if we can get even a D-level prospect for him just to shed the contract. All right, there we go. So we're going to go ahead and do this deal with the White Sox. It's a couple B-level prospects, a little bit older, but really we're just trying to shed this contract off. Now I'll see you guys in a little bit. No! So here we are, guys. There's our first big injury of the year. Michael Conforto, dislocated ankle. He's out the rest of the season. So this is going to allow J.D. Davis to get back in the lineup. But let's go ahead and keep moving up here. All right, guys. So we are here at the end of August. Right about to hit some contract extensions. Or right about to hit September and some September call-ups, I should say. I apologize. I am all over the place today. My first video. We're going to go ahead and see who we can possibly bring back for next season. Obviously not counting guys like Syndergaard and Alonso. We don't want to extend them right now. We really want to get that cheaper labor out of them, to be completely honest. But Stroman is one where we would like to go ahead and get a deal with him done because he's up after this year. Currently, he's getting $12 million. So let's go ahead and see what he wants. He wants $10 million, so that'll actually be a nice little pay cut for us. Let's go ahead and do this. He's 28. I think we'll give him a 3-year deal. And front load it. That way it doesn't conflict when we have to pay Conforto and pay Alonso. And he takes it. So we now have Marcus Stroman under contract for next season. Dellin Betances, another one I'd like to bring back. Let's go ahead and see here. Let's see about giving him 2 years and $10 million. So $5 million a year. And he does it. Perfect. Lugo still has time left. McNeil still has time left. Brantley, he's a hired gun for us. I said at the start of this video, the goal is going to be to have JD play left for the future. So Brantley, nice little upgrade for us, helping us contend this year. But we'll let him find greener pastures next season. Steve Matz has another year. Ramos, let's see what you want, Ramos. 6.5 for an aging catcher. I'll give him 7 for 1 if he wants that. Let's see. Boom! We got Wilson Ramos for next season. And the rest of these guys, we could pretty much let walk. We'll get to that in the offseason, but we'll see what we can do. So let's go ahead and get into September and some call-ups, and then see if we make it to the postseason. As of right now, I'll show you guys before we advance. We're 2.5 up on Atlanta, so we're in good shape. Well, let's see how this pans out. All right, guys. So we go ahead and win the National League East, 89-78. So not our best year, but hey, if it wins, it wins. So we win the East. We've taken on the Cubs in the NLDS. Let's go ahead and I'll catch up with you guys when this playoff series is over. All right, so we have advanced past the Chicago Cubs. We're now either playing the Dodgers or the Nationals in the NLCS, but we've advanced. So let's go ahead and say we sweep the Cubs. Actually, while we're on a break, let's go ahead and check out the awards and see what's what. See what we won. So Michael Brantley goes ahead and wins a Gold Glove. Welcome to the team. And Jake deGrom with his 3rd straight Cy Young Award. Let's go. Freddie Freeman won MVP, so won an MVP, but didn't quite win the division. Sucks to be you, Freddie. But Jake deGrom, 18-8. Another stellar ERA, 2.25, so better than last year's. Whips right around there. deGrom's just phenomenal. Let's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. So let's go ahead and see who we play and see what's what. So the Nationals have advanced. So let's see here. Game 1, Mets versus Strasburg. We take that fresh L. Game 2, Jake deGrom versus Austin Voth, and Jake deGrom goes ahead and wins it for us. Oh, Diaz actually wins it for us. High-scoring game. Game 3, Syndergaard versus Scherzer. That is the horses. Conforto's time of the injuries. Yeah, okay. We take Game 3. We're in good shape here. Stroman versus Corbin. Let's see. Game 4. We take an L. Mats versus Strasburg again. We're up 3-2 coming back to Queens, baby. deGrom versus Scherzer. Let's see what we got. And the Mets have advanced to the World Series. Let's go. And we're facing either the Astros or Twins. So for the first time since 2015, the Mets are back in the World Series. Let's see what we do. And we're facing the Twins. This will be interesting. Two teams that don't get much love. So let's see here. Game 1, Syndergaard versus Jose Barrios. We take that out. Okay, no worries. We took an L to Washington. Game 2, Stroman versus Odorizzi. And we beat them. Now we're coming back to Queens. Mats versus Kenta. Take an L. Game 4. Yeah, 4. Jake deGrom versus Randy Dobnak. Ooh, they beat deGrom. Oh, well, they beat Betances up to go up 3-1. This doesn't look good. Game 5, Syndergaard versus Smeltzer. And the Mets, we had a nice run, but we've been defeated by the Twins in the 2020 World Series. So let's go ahead and get to the offseason. We'll see how we can improve this team. We try to get back and a step further. To quote Billy Beane, win the last game of the year. So we go ahead and have Robbie Cano retire, which actually helps us, to put it vaguely. And then, rest in peace to the GOAT, Tim Tebow retires. Not much else, but Cano's going to be a big piece. We'll be able to nicely replace him with McNeil. That might shake up our plans for Brantley, though, a little bit. Let's see. Okay, guys, so here's where we're at. We were in free agency. We were able to re-sign. Okay, we were able to re-sign so far. Maybe under free agency I can show you guys. Yep, there we go. So obviously you guys saw me in August re-sign Stroman, Betances, and Ramos. So came to terms with Brantley, Lowry, and Justin Wilson. Try to keep some of this team intact. However, we have a little bit of a thing to shake this thing up a bit. We're waiting to hear on Dave Roberts. So I'll show you guys here. Waiting to hear him. We're still the highest offer on him, so I think we'll land him. But I think we're gonna feel a little froggy. I think we're gonna make a run at Mookie Betts. Let's go ahead and try this thing out. So we'll give him 7 years, $217 million, so the $31 million a year that MLB The Show allows you to cap some guy out at. Star contract, front loaded, and we'll let him right in front of Pete Alonso. Let's see what we can do. And we get him. Mookie Betts coming to the New York Mets. Mets got Betts. Put that on the New York Daily News. Still waiting on Dave Roberts, so we might be able to pull off Mookie and his manager. Anthony Rizzo heads to the D-backs. Liam Hendricks heads to Boston. Dave Roberts has accepted the Nationals offer. No! So we got to go ahead and make an offer for another manager now. That's upsetting. Okay, this guy's young, so we can kind of grow with the team. But let's see who else is out there. No one really. So let's go ahead and try to get Joey Cassidy. He seems very pitcher-oriented. You can see the +1 to the K per 9, +2 to the hit home runs per 9, and then a little nice contact boost. So let's go ahead and give him a deal. We'll give him 4 years and $19 million. Hopefully he takes it. The other thing we need to go get is a 5th starter. We let Porcello and Waka both walk. So let's see here. Now, I do want to check first what David Peterson's at. So David Peterson is a 75. So if we can't really improve over that, we don't have to. But let's go ahead and see here. So the Yankees are bidding on Corey Kluber. I think what we'll do is in true New York fashion, we'll bid against them and see if we can snag him. See if we can keep him from having to shave his beard, even though the game doesn't really let you do that. So we'll give the Klubot 2 years, 36 to be in the rotation. And there you go. Now we're the top offer. So let's go ahead and see if we can pull him in. No one wants to manage the Mets. God damn. All right, we got to put our attention on Kluber right now. Come on, Kluber. Come on, Kluber. Come on, Kluber. Let's go! Let's go! Corey Kluber's coming to Queens. Let's go. Let's go get a manager, boys. So we go ahead and get Lee Cinzy as manager. So we've pulled in Mookie Betts and Corey Kluber. We are set. We are looking really good for next year. We're going to go ahead and take care of some small logistical things that would bore the hell out of you guys. And I'll catch up with you guys when you need to. All right. So I was going to go right into spring training, but we were able to strike a nice little deal up. So obviously Michael Brantley, kind of expendable now. We re-signed him not thinking we'd have a chance to get Mookie Betts, and then we got Mookie Betts. Not going to pass up that opportunity. So essentially it's going to be Brantley, Jeremy Pena, who we selected in the Rule 5 draft, a potential, but plays the same position as Brett Beatty long term. And I don't really have a spot for him on the roster this season. And Steve Matz, who's going into his last year, his last year under team control. We weren't going to pay him, so that this will let us call up Dave Peterson, and we get an absolute savage in Jose Ramirez from the Cleveland Indians. So let's go ahead and do this deal, and I'll see you guys in Port St. Lucie. All right, guys. So we are ready for season 2 of this Mets rebuild. As you can see here, the lineup looks a lot different from what we were working with last year, which is absolutely a good thing. So obviously, we got McNeil leading off there, Rosario batting behind him. Then one of the 2 huge acquisitions this offseason, or 3 big acquisitions this offseason, but this is by far the biggest. Mookie Betts, all-star, one of the greatest players in the game, batting third in front of Big Pete. Behind him is Jose Ramirez, batting 5th. Conforto batting 6th. Let me go to our National League lineup again. I keep making that mistake. McNeil, Rosario, Betts, Alonso, like I said, Ramirez, Conforto, Ramos, Nimmo, deGrom. And then for Nimmo, this year I have him platooning with Juan Lagares coming back. Somebody call 911. So let's go. Who is this guy? So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to go send this guy down to the minor leagues and call up someone else, and we're going to get into it. I'll see you guys around the All-Star break unless there's a big injury. So here we are, guys, the first big injury of the year. It's an unfortunate one. Jose Ramirez, 2 to 3 months, going to be out. We're going to slap him on the 60-day DL. Creates opportunity. It's all good. We're going to go ahead and give J.D. Davis that third base spot that he was supposed to have until we were able to pull off this massive trade. I will see you guys at the All-Star break. Okay, so we are at the All-Star break. Let's go ahead and check some stats. First, we got the pitchers. deGrom, 10-3, 2.4 ERA. Another great year for him. Syndergaard contract year, throwing flames. 12-2, 2.4 ERA. He might take the Cy Young from Jake. This is going to be interesting down the stretch. Kluber, as advertised, 10-4, 2.36 ERA, and a sub-1 whip, just barely. Stroman, struggling a little bit. He'll get there. We'll get him on track. And then Dave Peterson, having a good rookie year here. 5-6, so not the best record, but a 4.4 ERA. He's the fifth starter. He'll develop. And a 1.47 whip. That's not awful. Could be. There's definitely room for improvement, but not too bad at all. Let's go ahead and check the lineup out. Obviously, like we saw earlier, Jose Ramirez hurt. But McNeil hitting 270, 11 dingers. Rosario getting 13 dingers in. Mookie Betts having an excellent season, 23 home runs, 53 ribbies, and almost a 300 average. Big Pete, stud. He's back on track. I was concerned after last year. He had a bit of a down year, as you can see there. 31 home runs for a whole season. 107 RBIs. He just couldn't put it over the fence. That's why I wanted some insurance in front of him. Mookie Betts, Jose Ramirez when he's healthy. Pete's protected. Conforto, not bad. 22 home runs, 285. Solid year. Ramos, worth the money that I gave him. JD filling in nicely. 14 home runs, 300 average. Nimmo's playing well. Lagares doing well as well. So, as you can see, this is why we are, I believe, I'll check it, but I believe we are currently, we're 3 games up on the Nets. So we're going to be in good shape down the stretch. Let's go ahead and sim up to the trade deadline and see if we can add any pieces, primarily in the bullpen, and see if we can bolster this thing a little bit. All right, guys, so nothing too crazy at the deadline. We're in first. We're in a position of power. We have a good team. I'm going to go ahead and get Tyler Duffy for Max Moroff. I DFA'd him, so I have to do something with him. Because obviously Jose Ramirez is back. So I shortly after the All-Star break, he came back. So Max Moroff, DFA'd him. Tyler Duffy, 80 overall reliever. Gonna slot in nicely right behind the horses at the peak of it. So we're going to go ahead and pull the trigger on this deal and see what we can do. I think it's going to be a nice little addition for us. So let's get into it. We do that. Now, I also traded for, I will show you guys, Garrett Richards. Again, gave up nothing for him. He was sitting in San Diego's minor league system. Dave Peterson, is that him? Yeah, Dave Peterson, he fractured his shin, I believe. Yep, there it is. Fractured his shin. 1 to 2 months. So we had to go get a replacement. Garrett Richards probably will replace Porcello in the pen once Peterson's healthy, but we'll see where we're at then. So we're going to go ahead and advance up a little bit. We're done with the deadline. Actually, while I have you guys here, let's go ahead. We're going to... I'll adjust the pitching rotation, the roster numbers right after, but the big thing I want to do here, Big Haas over here. Big Haas. We are going to extend Syndergaard. So he wants 20.4. We'll pay that out normally. And we get him. 5 years for Syndergaard, 103 mil. He's back. Alright, guys, so I will see you on the flippity flip. We're going to go advance a little bit. Alright, guys, we are back. So we've won the East again. 105-57, won the division. Now we play the Cardinals in the NLDS, which means, God, the Dodgers must have been awesome. I'm worried about them in the NLDS. If it's the Dodgers, I have to check. Let's go and check some awards out. So we don't get a Cy Young, we don't get an MVP, but McNeil and Betts both bring home Gold Gloves. So we'll take it. We'll take it. So your Bellinger, better average than Pete. That's the only real, and a couple more, 11, 12 more RBIs. But take that. Syndergaard finished third, 18-4 with a 2.8 ERA. And he's going to flourish now that I've told him that he's in the rotation and not the ace because it's deGrom. The rest will leave kind of as is, I say. Okay, so let's go ahead and tweak the team up a little bit, and then we'll get into the postseason. Let's get into it. So game one, we got deGrom versus Jack Flaherty. Let's see here. That's a 41 on the 40 man. Okay, we'll fix that real quick. MLB The Show. See ya, Omar Cruz. Okay, I'll just have the computer do it. So deGrom versus Flaherty. And we take game one. Jake throws a shutout, or 8-inning shutout. Hands it over to the bullpen in the ninth. Let's go. Game two, we got Thor versus Carlos Martinez, and we win that too. And then game three, Klubat versus Miles Michaelis. And we take that and we sweep the Cardinals right out of the play. And I'll be taking on either Dodgers or Nationals. Well, we won the division by a lot, so I'm rooting for the Nationals. Let's check on that series. So currently that series is 2-1 Washington. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go ahead and sim up to this series. Got the Dodgers. They came back. Okay. So game one, Stroman versus Gingergaard. And we take that. Game two, deGrom versus Julio Urias. And deGrom drops it. Game three, Syndergaard versus Walker Buehler. Let's see what we can do. Lose that one too. Damn. Game four, Corey Kluber versus Clayton Kershaw. We lose that. This is not looking good. Game five, Stroman versus Price. Let's see if Stroman can extend it for us. Stroman extends it. Now we got the rematch, deGrom versus Urias. And we drop it in the NLCS. It's all good. We have one more year to go on this. And then we'll maybe have to go to a second video. But let's go ahead and see who wins the World Series. Probably the Dodgers. Dodgers are good. Yeah, Dodgers go ahead and beat the Yankees. So, hand up. We lost to the World Series champions 2 years in a row. So, the first time we were in the World Series. So, Dodgers beat the Yankees. Let's go ahead and check out World Series MVP, and they take them out in 6. So, nothing to be ashamed of there. Moncada wins World Series MVP, and Muncy wins postseason MVP. I also extended Conforto. Forgot to say. Extended him at the deadline. So, he's locked up as well. Brett Beatty's developing nicely, so he's going to be the one to replace Jose Ramirez, probably, because we'll look to save costs there, get some draft picks back. Let's go ahead and get into the offseason, and I'll either see you guys in Queens, or if we make a big move, I'll see you then. All right, guys, so we are back. Season 3 of our Mets franchise. The lineup looks a lot similar to last year. Hit an NL1. McNeil, Rosario, Betts, Alonso, Ramirez, Conforto. It's very much the same lineup. The only real change is Nimmo. Now I'm letting play every day. He can play every day. He'll develop somewhat nicely. I got to pay him, so hopefully I'll get a deal on that. By having him at a 79 right now. Bench, again, very similar to last year. Smith, Jimenez, Lowry, Nito, Parker's up instead of having Lavaris, J.D. Davis. But for the most part, it's all the same. Rotation, again, very similar. Kluber has fallen off a little bit with age, going down to 85, but it's okay. 18 mil coming off the books this year, so I'm probably letting him walk at the end of this season. deGrom, still a stud. Just an absolute stud. Noah Syndergaard, fresh into that new extension, 88. I'll take it. What you guys didn't see from the offseason was that I went and improved the bullpen. We're now going to let Diaz have the reins back to the ninth. He's developed nicely in his role. The last couple of years last year going sub 2 ERA. So he really began to find his form again. Appearing in 37 games. So he didn't make the most appearances. But we're going to attempt to get back what the Mets traded for in the first place with him. And that's a shutdown ninth inning closer. But the big acquisitions, we've already re-signed Luka. We did that in the offseason, but we went and got Corey Knebel and Tommy Kahnle. Just two nice little solid pieces for us to build around. Or not to build around, to add to our pen. Still Dellin, still have Tyler Duffy. So things are coming together nicely, and I think we're going to have a solid year here now that we have a bullpen. So let's go ahead and get into it, and I will see you guys at the deadline. Or not the deadline, All-Star break. Unless there's a big injury. Okay, guys, so we are here at the trade deadline. I don't need to make a single move, and you're going to see why when I open up the division standings here. I'm up 17 and a half games on Washington in second place. We are 78 and 33. I'm going to go ahead and show you the standings for the league as far as being able to play that wild card team. I'm at 78 and 33. The Brewers are 62 and 51, so I have 16 games on them. And the Dodgers are 65 and 46, so I have 13 games on them. I'm running away with the National League. So I'm going to let a good thing keep going and not touch a thing. Mookie Betts leading the league in batting average. It's a fantastic year. Let's keep this thing rolling. I'll see you in September. All right, guys, so we are in September. This phenomenal season continues. Currently sitting at 102 and 37. The reason I start that September instead of going straight through to the playoffs is we are chasing. I don't know if I want to be chasing this. They didn't do too well in the playoffs, but we are chasing the 116-win Seattle Mariners, the best record in the 162-game era. Tied for the amount of wins. Obviously, winning percentages get messed up. I believe the 1906 Cubs also won 116 games, but they were, less losses. So we're going to get into this. We're going to see what we could do. In September, I got to make some call-ups. But, yeah, we're chasing history along this path of trying to win a World Series. So let's go ahead and make some September call-ups, and then we'll get into it and see if we can pull this thing off. Ooh, this ain't good. Jeff McNeil's out 2 to 3 months. That's going to take him out of the postseason. That's going to take him out of everything. Let's go ahead and make some unfortunate adjustments. So let's see here. So we will rock you Okay. So we're gonna move Jose Ramirez to the leadoff spot and play him at second, right? I did that on the first one. Yep. Okay. And then we're gonna bring JD Davis into the lineup every day, in hopes of pulling this thing off. Now on the other side, JD Davis already plays, so we'll get Andres Jimenez. Oh, he's a lefty. Yeah, we'll get Jed Lowry some playing time. So not ideal for our chase of a title, but I think we still have a good team. I think we're gonna be able to pull this off. I have to call someone up. That's right. We are a win away, everybody, from tying the 116 win Seattle Mariners. Let's see what we can do here. First shot at it, Kluber versus. Oh wow, Teheran went back to Atlanta. We've tied them, and look who we are facing to try to break the record. We are going against the Seattle Mariners, albeit not the 116 win. They are the 111 loss Seattle Mariners. But we are going against them to try and break their record. Let's get after it. And we do it. We do it. We do it. We do it. 118. Let's see if we can go for 119. 119 and 43. The best regular season team ever. We have to turn this into a postseason run, but we have a good foundation. So let's go ahead and tweak, do our off-season, our postseason tweaks. I'm sorry. All right, so we got our lineups and our rotation set for the postseason. Let's go ahead and check out some awards. So we get a Gold Glove for Mookie Betts. Okay, bring in the defense. Cy Young, he takes his award back. There was just voter fatigue last year. That's all it was. And Delivery Man of the Year, Edwin Diaz. Let's go. 55 saves, bouncing back in a big way. How many blown? Only 6 blown. Look at you, Edwin. You're back, kid. You're back. You're back. You are back. Bryce Harper beat out deGrom and Mookie for MVP. You didn't make the playoffs, though. You didn't win 119 games, so Go Mets. LFGM, baby. Let's go. So let's go ahead and sim up here. See who we're going to play in the NLDS. Washington. We've only owned them all season, but let's get into it. Game 1. deGrom versus Patrick Corbin. We take the win. Game 2. Syndergaard versus Tim Cate. We take another win. Let's go. We're heading to Washington for Stroman versus Strasburg, Game 3. And we sweep them right out. Bang. See ya. Mets have won the National League Division Series, obviously. And we'll be taking on the Dodgers or Brewers in the National League Championship Series. I like the sound of that. It's the Dodgers. We get our revenge for last year. Let's go. Game 1, Dave Peterson versus Walker Buehler. Wilson Ramos pulled groin, bench him. Let's go. Stepping up big. Game 2, deGrom versus Kershaw. We take that too. Game 3, Syndergaard versus Urias. We take that. Game 4, Stroman versus Gingergaard. And we sweep the Dodgers out. Let's go. And we'll be taking on either the Rays or Yankees in the World Series. Okay. We got the Subway Series, kid. Let's go. Game 1, Peterson versus Garrett Cole. We take that fresh out. It's okay. Got the deGrom versus Big Maple. Get back in the win column. Game 3, Thor versus Severino. We take the win. Game 4, Stroman versus the young upstart, Devi Garcia. We take the win. We're a win away for the World Series. Let's go. See if David Peterson can go beat Garrett Cole. And we do it. Let's go. Year 3, the New York Mets have won the World Series. Let's go. That's what we went out to accomplish. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's always a pleasure. Make sure to, again, subscribe up top there. It'll be. There we go. I'm getting new to this YouTube thing. Subscribe up there. Like, comment, help me out. I'm a new YouTuber. I'd appreciate it. Thank you for hanging in there with me. LFGM, leave a comment. Maybe you leave a team. I could do that team next in a rebuild. But we set out what we accomplished, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, thank you for tuning in to Schaefer Gaming, and I'll see you next time.